Hey everyone, and welcome to another combo breakdown. Today I'm going to show you several beginner-friendly moves and a nice way to integrate them and just enjoy a very short flow. I'm also going to give more acrobatic options and challenges for the more experienced practitioners. I hope everyone can enjoy this one. The first move we are going to play with today is the backwards hop. It looks like this. I want to start in a narrow stance and place one hand by my side. So if I'm using my right hand, I want to place it to my right. So I place it, I shift weight to this hand, and I want to lift my right foot. You can hold this position for a second just to make sure you understand it. And then we want to take 2 steps backwards, and notice I finish wide. If I'm going to use my left hand, and notice I give a little bit internal rotation to this hand, so slight internal rotation. I lift my left foot and I take 2 steps sideways. One important cue to remember here is to extend the opposite arm. So if I'm going to use my right hand on the floor, I want to extend my left hand to the other side. It helps me to spread my weight better in space, and it helps with the balance and also the aesthetic of the move. When you feel comfortable with the linear pattern, you can add a little jump, and then you can play with the direction as well. So instead of placing my right arm only to my right, I can place it anywhere I want, but I still keep the pattern the same. I keep the legs, the steps, and the going around exactly the same. So I can actually place my hand wherever I want and go around it. The next pattern today is the reverse half cartwheel. So I want to start very low and very wide because the floor is more accessible when my stance is wider. And I want to place my hands to my side. Here I'm going to lift my back leg, and you can hold here for a second just to make sure that you are comfortable with the position and that you know what you're doing. Here we are going to jump a little bit to the side and land on the same leg. This is why I call it half cartwheel, because we actually land on the same leg and we don't switch legs. So, wide stance, hands to your side, lift the back leg, and we want to travel sideways with the bottom foot. So again, I'm going to land on the same leg. If my left is on the floor, I'm going to jump and land on my left. Over time, we want to be able to extend the hand sideways as much as we can. It gives us more air time and more freedom. We can also think about extending the legs far away from each other. So I want to keep this upper leg very high and this lower leg very low. So I'm working on my split here actually. So upper leg upwards, lower leg downwards, and travel to the side. The last move we are going to explore today is the Cossack loop. So I want to start in a seated position and extend one leg to my side. Notice I'm using this line as a reference because I want the feet roughly on the same line. So again, feet roughly on the same line, hand to my side, not too far and not too close. You're going to have to find somewhere comfortable here that fits your proportions. And we want to practice this arch several times on each side. After you've practiced this arch, we want to continue it. So I want to lead from my fingertips, and I want to place this hand next to the one that was already on the floor. And here I want to switch hands and insert the leg and go back to another Cossack position. So notice, if I start with the right leg extended, I'm arching backwards. I switch hand first. I switch the hand, I lift the hand, and now I insert the leg. And notice I started with the right extended, and now the left is extended. One more time. I arch backwards. Left leg is extended. I switch hands, and then I insert the free leg, and I actually switch. Now the right is extended again. When you're comfortable with it, you can practice it with a little bit more flow. And you can also start and finish standing. So instead of starting in a seated position, I begin in a wide stance. I go down into the Cossack. I pull my chest forward, my hand forward, and I want to take one hand backwards. If the right leg is extended, I'm going to take the right arm backwards. So again, if you're comfortable with it, chest and arm give you counterbalance, so you can go backwards. You search the floor with the free hand, and you try to do it gently. If you can't, you just start in a seated position, no worries. Here you arch, you switch, and you can finish standing. So last one, you can start seated down and finish standing. Start on the floor, finish standing. So let's see how these elements can work together. So our first option today will be starting with the backwards hop. And here we don't finish it, but we sit down to the Cossack. And here we arch backwards and initiate the Cossack loop. And we finish in a squat or in a wide stance, whatever you can. From here, we are going to continue to the same side with the half cartwheel. So backwards hop, finish on the floor, arching, returning to the squat, and continuing to the reverse half cartwheel. I'm going to work on the line as reference, but always remember that movement is circular, it goes up and down, and it doesn't have to go on a line. So we start with the backwards hop, narrow stance, hands to the side, 2 steps backwards. Here we can sit down and find the Cossack position. We're going to arch backwards, go into the Cossack loop, and finish standing. Now we are going to continue to the half cartwheel and finish wide. A few decorations that you can add to this combo when you feel more comfortable with the moves or if you have a little bit more experience in it. So first of all, you can make it more circular. And here, when you finish the Cossack, I like to add half turn forward. I'm going to lead with my head and give a half turn to my front. Lead with my head, wide stance, leg comes in a delay. So I'm going to do it from the Cossack. So backwards hop, Cossack loop. I want to continue to another half turn, and here I'm changing direction to the half cartwheel. Let's see it all together again. Backwards hop, Cossack arch, continue with the head, half turn, and here you don't even have to place this foot on the floor. You can continue to the half cartwheel. One last option, if you want to do it a little bit more acrobatic, is to add a bridge when we finish the half cartwheel. So hands on the floor, and instead of just landing and standing, we want to land in the bridge. So hands, one leg, and here we want to find our bridge and push up or squat down. You can also do it here. Find your bridge. Legs are not too far away, not too close to your hand, not too far away. Find your bridge, squat down, and you can finish with a squat. So let's put all the elements together. We have the backwards hop, the Cossack loop, half turn, leading from the head, and finishing with the arch. That's it for today. Thank you so much for making it here. If you want my feedback or have any questions, feel free to send some clips and questions over on Instagram or simply tag me in your story. I would love to give you some feedback and see how this combination looks on you. If you like this tutorial, feel free to explore my online courses. They have a lot more depth and preparation and the mobility you need in order to make this practice more accessible and more comfortable. But regardless of that, I'm going to continue to provide some open sources that you can enjoy.